But it is extraordinary that they did not know what they were doing. Honestly, they didn't know. And they did not know, at a very fundamental level, not just how the European Union worked or how to interpret what they were doing, but actually what the European Union even was. Right? This is really a very important concept. They didn't understand, certainly Nick Timothy I think didn't understand, but a lot of people in the government, certainly Boris Johnson, a lot of the Brexiters never really understood that the fundamental point of the European Union is that it is a legal construct, and therefore the way you participate in it is by adopting total harmonisation with the laws, and the way you will influence in that is by being in the room when the important legal decisions, or decisions about that will trickle down as legal decisions are made in the council, and you have commissioners and all the rest of it. We know the apparatus, right? And so a position that says we will not participate in your legal apparatus, but it's okay because we're friends, that has no basis at all in European Union institutional law. It's a meaningless position. And it took, I think, in all honesty, I think the Prime Minister only really understood that maybe in the last 6 months. Which is, not great. Now, in terms of then we get to deal, right, so then she's got to try and negotiate. Well, I've skipped over the 2017 general election, again, which we can talk about. Because, astonishingly, her position didn't change from then to now. The red lines didn't change. She got together to deal with the DUP. So that's sort of, I think, bad politics. But in terms of actually where we are now, the government view and the move into checkers and going through the joint report, none of that has really changed the fundamental tensions that have brought us to the impasse that we're at now. And the essential problem, as I understand it, is this: that once you've decided that you have to end immigration, have to introduce immigration control such that prohibits free movement, because you have been told 100 times that the four freedoms are indivisible, and therefore you're obviously leaving the single market, all of the single market, you then have a choice. Intellectually, you have a choice. Your choice can be to recognise that that is a cost, that you're basically making the UK weaker and poorer, but to justify that on the basis that that's what people voted for, and actually you would rather have a sort of ethnically more homogenous country that's a bit poorer than a more cosmopolitan one. Right, that's not a choice that I would make, but it is intellectually a coherent choice that you can make. That was basically the UKIP proposition. Nigel Farage on the record as saying, take a few points off GDP, not his GDP, your GDP, but anyway, take a few points off GDP, in order to basically have less immigration. So that is one path that you can take. That was the kind of, the sort of leave.eu low road to Brexit. Or there's the sort of vote leave high road to Brexit, which leaves all that stuff. Again, a very clever thing about the Leave referendum campaign, that it had this sort of the high and the low road. The sort of one side that was basically the unofficial campaign, gaming brutally the immigration stuff. Vote Leave did a bit of that, but actually talks a lot more about sovereignty and the NHS and all this stuff. So then you have the sort of high roads to Brexit, which is this much more actually high Tory, old-fashioned ideological proposition, which is that the membership of the single market was never a good thing, because all the regulation was tying up, it was red tape, it was gunting up British businesses, it was costing too much. To cast the dead hand of Brussels off will usher in a period of great prosperity and freedom, and the UK can rediscover its buccaneering 15th century. You laugh, but I mean, this is actually, people very profoundly believe this. And again, it's sort of intellectually coherent in a way, as long as your time horizon is like 100 years, and you presume that the European Union is going to fall apart. So again, there is a coherence to it. So those are your options. You can either say, it hurts, but I don't care, or no, it's a brilliant thing because unicorns.